Hey, I'm Brad Chmielewski, and this is episode 153 of Shatter The Vain. Update 2.4. It's been crazy. I've been loving Baptiste. That dude is pretty awesome. I don't know. Hopefully, everyone out there has had a chance to either pick him up or play him. I know there's a lot of giveaways going on. If you don't have him, I think I'll be doing one later on in May, so get ready for that, for some Baptiste giveaways. And yeah, this is pretty awesome. We got the London Unified Live Championships coming up here in a few weeks, so get ready for those. And on this episode, I have Sean joining me, who is giving away a VIP ticket for those Unified Championships. So there's a giveaway link in the description. Check that out. Enter. Go to London. It'll be awesome. But yeah, we dive into the patch. We dive into some of the issues people are having with solo and duo queue. That seems to never end. Hopefully, I don't think there's ever a good answer to it, but love hearing everyone's opinions on it, just thoughts and ways that we can kind of make the game better and more enjoyable for everyone. And then I got to mention the Patreon page. That's over at patreon.com/shatterthevain. If you can support the show, that's awesome. I love everyone that listens and watches. So couldn't do the show without all of your support. But yeah, let's do it. Let's get into episode 153.
Shatter the Vain.
This is the 153rd episode of Shatter the Vain. My name is Brad Chmielewski, and it's a podcast all about Vainglory. Every week, I try to break down the news, gameplay, game tips, and hopefully we can all become better players together. And every week, bring on new people within the Vainglory community, people that love this game. And this week, I have Sean joining me. Welcome.
What's up, Brad? You guys can find me at Sean Ostino on Twitter and all social media. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good to have you here. You've been streaming a little bit. You've been playing this game for a while, right?
Yeah. I've been playing it actually since since early 2016. I think February of 2016. So it's been over a year now. I passed the year mark since I started playing it. I got into it because a lot of my fans on Mob Crush, where I used to stream a lot.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they recommended that I play it. I was just like, Vainglory, what the hell is that? Like, is that a new adjective or something? Like, what is that? And then I just started playing the game. I started off really bad because I didn't understand how to play MOBAs. I never played MOBAs before. But eventually, a lot of my fans and my guild mates, they taught me. And now I'm a part of a great guild called Shattered Reality. And we play together like every so often. I was just playing with my guild leader last night. And I love Vainglory. Super fun game. I went to the Vainglory Worlds in December last year. Freaking fun. And I wish you could have been there because you were saying that you wanted to go, right?
Yeah, I always want to go to all of the events, but time and money doesn't line up with your wants, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's the perfect intersection of opportunity, time, and money, right?
Yeah. So what game were you streaming on Mob Crush beforehand, before you got to Vainglory? Just everything?
Yeah, like probably everything that I could think of. Anything that looked like it was fun and big. I played The Walking Dead Michonne. What else did I play? I played like Lara Croft Go. I played Hitman, Sniper, like just random things, and I never had a passion for anything. Probably the next biggest game that I had a lot of fun playing and I invested a lot of time into was Mortal Kombat X for mobile. Okay. And I played that a lot actually, and I was really good at it too. But the thing is that it's not like you're playing somebody real time, live, one-on-one, or even like in Vainglory's case, you're playing with real people on your team 3v3, which is freaking amazing.
Right, but I guess kind of some of those games kind of help you stream better because you're not having to like Vainglory and MOBAs. You're like focused for like 20 minutes and you're like, oh wait, what happened in the chat? You look up and you're like, oh my god, it's chaos.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I did get a lot of that when I was streaming with Mob Crush because it was so busy all the time. And I'm like a pretty modest streamer because I've only been streaming for about a year now, a little over a year. But before that, I was in YouTube channels for like 5 years doing podcasts and stuff in Hollywood.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, and so this is like a totally different thing because before, when I would do YouTube stuff, it would be like just comments, and then I would try to like interact with people on the comments and the posts, and then on Twitter. So interacting with people live one-on-one, it's a complete, or not even one-on-one, one on like hundreds or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, it's a completely different monster, right? Because you're just going to have to pick out the people who you recognize the most or things that you think are the most important. So with transitioning from Mob Crush, you know, where I would have like so much traffic on my chat, to having the little amount that I have now on Twitch, you know, the people are great. It's a non-trolling community for the most part. That's what I like about Twitch a lot. So it's different. It's fun though, and I actually did just get into the Twitch affiliate program, so I'm
cool.
pretty excited about that too.
That's awesome. Congrats there. Like
Thanks.
Emotes and everything like that. That would be great.
Well, we can. I'm definitely gonna get the bits. I think we'll get a few emotes, like not as much as like this the partners do, but we'll get some.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. The
get,
affiliates
like,
and the partners are a little different. Okay, that's right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're gonna be able to get bits, which is cool. So we pretty much, you know, get tips money. But I think we get some cheers. Cheers and bits, the same thing. But we definitely get like 10 or 15 emotes, I want to say, as opposed to 50 for the partners.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I forgot that got all changed. I haven't kept up on I haven't streamed for a while, so I haven't kept up on the Twitch changes.
You're always busy with your podcast and like you're doing your YouTube stuff. So, and yeah, the Halcyon report, I really like that show, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, we have a lot of fun talking about the esports scene. It's constantly changing, so it's a definitely needed show to do. So you were doing the YouTube videos. Do you like streaming more than doing the YouTube content? Like,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I love streaming more. It's because it's like that immediate. It's kind of funny. It's like immediate both ways. I can interact with the fans and viewers immediately, and then they can interact with me immediately. We're living in the 21st century where it's just like everybody wants something right now, right? You want that instant gratification. So I do enjoy that a lot more. It's really fun to have that quick connection with people. YouTube, I feel like I have to edit a lot more with that just to make my videos a little bit cleaner, a little bit better, you know. Fair. And what I have, yeah, it's definitely fair. And what I do enjoy posting the most on there is more like my daily vlog stuff, like me and my wife, we're having a kid. I'm like a gamer dad, you know. So we're pretty much like I'm going to post like about everything about being a dad and being a gamer in that intersection of my life, you know.
All right, that sounds like more of a good use for the YouTube channel than, just straight up gameplay videos. I think that's a little more interesting. Very cool. And then you mentioned your guild, Shatter. This is a different Shatter than people who maybe were around Vainglory when it first started, right? This is like the rebirth of Shatter, right?
No. Yeah, I did. You know what? I now that you mention it, I think I do recall like Shattered. But we're different. Yeah, we were originally called Blood Rose, and our guild tag was Rise, R-I-S-E, and we actually ended up changing it. I don't know why, but my guild leader, he ended up changing it for some reason. I guess he thinks it sounds cooler to be Shattered Esports. He's like made all kinds of logos and everything. His name is Sky Ace, and we're just like a competitive, semi-competitive, like casual guild. You know, we are actually starting up our own version of the Vainglory 8, which is actually going to be called the Shattered 8.
Oh, cool.
And we're going to be doing invites to different guilds and teams to play. We've actually already had one competition about a month ago, and we gave away some ice for that. And coming up, we're at least going to have 2,000 to 3,000 ice, or maybe even more, for the next winners of the Shattered 8 competition.
Oh, cool. People follow Twitter, probably the best way to find out about that, what's happening there. Okay.
yeah, they can follow us. Twitter.com/Shattered Esport. That's the best place to find us. They can also find me too. I'm like a much more prevalent with my tweeting, so they can follow me, and then I can always refer them to that link as well.
Cool. Well then, speaking of the Vainglory 8, we got the London Unified Championships coming up, and you're doing a giveaway. for
Yeah,
it, right?
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah, tell everyone about that. Let's hear about this. It's pretty great.
Yeah, it's a huge giveaway. It's mostly because I bought the tickets because I was so excited about the London Unified Championships. I really wanted to go myself,
Yeah.
but after looking at the tickets for airfare for like the previous 2-3 weeks, I just couldn't find anything that's within my price range. And I
Mhm.
haven't been to Europe, so it would have been a great experience. But I'm giving the tickets away. So my loss is the Vainglory gain, and I'm giving away my VIP tickets, which allows access to the VIP area. Whoever gets a ticket, they're going to be able to get first. I think they get priority for meet and greets, so they get like front of the line privileges and
Okay.
stuff like that to be able to go up to like the players, the shoutcasters, whoever they're going to meet and greet over there. And you get 2 meal vouchers per day as well. And the only thing that's not included, obviously, because I'm not that big of a successful streamer, is accommodations, travel, airfare, stuff like that. So,
Okay.
but if they can get there, whoever can get to the London Unified Championship, they're going to have a really good time with this VIP package.
Like maybe you already have a ticket, a regular one, and you want the VIP. Like maybe you missed out. Like you already are planning to go, and be a good reason to kind of upgrade, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I was just looking at. I think there's 2 types of VIP tickets right now on the Eventbrite page for the event, but one of them is sold out. So I think that's the one that I ended up buying. So you guys might get a better deal. Well, you're getting it for free if you enter the contest giveaway. I'm going to be posting it on my Twitter shortly. Um, and they just click the link to go to the Gleam page. There's some instructions on there, like they got to follow me, they got to retweet it, tag a friend, and they can go ahead and go to the Gleam page and enter, and then they can enter up to, I think, 4 times or 5 times
Okay.
total. So that gives them a lot of chances to win. But please make sure that you can go to London, especially if you're here in NA. You want to be able to, make sure you have the funds so that you don't just get it and it's not just sitting there like pretty much I had.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I'll include a link to the giveaway as well in the description and the notes. So check that out if you and yeah, do all that stuff to enter. So it's tickets, like a pair of tickets, or are they going to be separate? Like, is it one and
It's just
one?
No, it's just one. It's
Okay,
just
just one.
one
Okay,
VIP ticket. Yeah.
just a ticket. Okay.
So, it's actually it would be great to have a pair, obviously, so you can go with your friend. But going to the Vainglory Worlds event, I went alone, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna see T Dog here somewhere. You know T Dog from the Alternating Current,
Yeah.
and a bunch of other people. I was just like, who am I gonna meet here? Fuji's gonna be here. Maybe I could talk to him. I made friends with everybody. I made
That's
friends with
awesome.
T Dog. Him and I were really close. Yeah. And Wookie Force 2, Nikki Tsunami, we were all hanging out, all having conversations, Playoff Beard. Like, the list goes on, Like, you go get these VIP tickets, win them, and you're going to be able to make friends in the Vainglory community that are going to last a long time. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, and the teams, I think the competition is going to be great. I know the Vainglory 8 is going on right now as we're recording the NA side. So yeah, it's the teams and stuff. It's pretty awesome to watch this split.
Yeah. Were you watching the EU today? Who ended up
Yeah.
winning? I didn't see.
Oh, I didn't see the finals. I was watching the earlier games, but I had to go grocery shopping
Yeah.
during it. So
Adult life, right?
yeah, so I missed. I have to go back and see what happened there.
I know that Team Secret was up against G2,
Right.
so I'm excited to look at the VODs later and see who ends up winning that because they're both really really strong teams.
Hmm.
And I saw G2 play against SK Gaming yesterday, and I was flabbergasted by some of the plays in the games. I was just like, what? It was
Yeah,
crazy.
the EU scene, it's evolved quite a bit over the last, I think, whole season. Like they completely kind of changed their game and realized like, oh yeah, it's aggression. We gotta go for it. We gotta win this game now. We can't just farm up and hope for the best because one mistake late game kind of ruins it all. Where if you fight early and you make a mistake, you can kind of crawl your way back. So
Yeah, it can be. You can crawl your way back, which is really crazy. Because Forecourt Jester, he was shoutcasting the EU games yesterday with Dowsy, and he ended up having a great quote that I actually live tweeted out from my Twitter account, and it was like, fingernails. They're just holding on by their fingernails, and that's how. I think it was. I forgot exactly who it was, but they just came back. It may have been actually G2 versus SK Gaming, because SK could have finished them. They were like one auto attack away from killing the Vein Crystal.
Oh yeah, that game. Whew.
Oh man, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, that game was intense. I have a couple of clips. I think we might have talked about them, or we might talk about it in the Halcyon report. We'll see. That game. Well, very cool. Excited to see this giveaway. How long do people have to enter? Do you do all that worked out? It's got to be short, right? Because it's coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up. So I'm actually it's gonna be really quick. I'm thinking 24 hours, like from when I post it. It's gonna be around 20. Well, looking right now at the event, the event's already live, but I'm going to tweet it out. So it's about 30 hours that people are gonna have to enter.
Okay.
So it's a really quick. It's like a drive-by. You know, I'm just gonna be like, come on, you want to get these VIP tickets? Boom, get in here right now, because they're gonna be gone. A lot of people. Yeah, Vainglory has a lot of people playing all over the world. 1 billion games last year played. Mm-hmm. What over 100,000 people following Vainglory on Twitter. People are gonna want these VIP tickets.
Yeah, definitely. So check that out. Get in there and get to London and have a blast. I think it's gonna be a good event. Well, this week we had some really fun stuff with the news, update 2.4. So let's jump into that.
Vainglory News.
So yeah, like I said, update 2.4 was released on Wednesday, and with it came the new hero, Baptiste. I kind of wanted to go through some of these changes in this, but how's Baptiste treating you so far? Have you got to play him?
I have gotten to play him. I like his kit. It's very interesting, and the way I play him is I pretty much do his B, then I go to his ultimate to make them feared out of the circle, right? Out of the ordained circle, and then they run into it, stunning him up, doing damage. It's very interesting. There's obviously there's quite a few counters to him. Like any assassin can just jump right on him. Taka, when he's doing I always forget the name of his A ability, but whatever that is.
Where he flips over, like that sucks. Like he can just avoid the B, like completely.
Yeah,
I don't...
Exactly. Yeah, I was playing with some of my guild mates, and as soon as I threw down the ordained, freaking Taka it just says dodge every time. Every time I'm throwing it.
Yeah, I don't know the best timing on that yet. But yeah, if you see someone playing Baptiste, play Taka, because they're going to have a hard time with you.
Exactly, unless you have just tons of flares, which you're probably not going to have as a carry, because he's considered a carry.
Right. But yeah, I think I like the weapon path a little more than the crystal path. They're both pretty fun, but the weapon path seems to be like, you just melt people very fast.
Yeah. What do you build on him for weapon path?
I've been doing the lifesteal kind of Serpent's Mass, Sorrow Blade, Poison Shiv kind of thing. So he basically doesn't die because he's already getting those health back because of those souls.
Right, yeah, he gets empowered. It's very useful. It's a very good heroic perk he's got.
Yeah, that's fun. I think he's a really unique hero because you can truly build like all these different like items and build paths and really like just play around with them a little more than some of the other heroes.
And I like how they're doing that with the newer heroes now. Like obviously we had Grumpjaw come out after Idris. Mm-hmm. I think he was I think there've only been 2 heroes, right? Like Idris came out after Vainglory Worlds, and then we had Grumpjaw, and then now we have Baptiste, right? So it's only been 3 heroes since then. Am I right, or am I missing somebody?
Ooh, are we missing someone? I'm like blanking. I don't have my heroes.
Yeah,
I feel like we're missing someone, but maybe not.
Maybe we are. But Idris and Baptiste are the only 2 who have this divergent path. Mm-hmm. And it's really cool. I think they should continue to do this with the heroes, because they really didn't do this so much with Grumpjaw.
Right. So yeah, Grumpjaw, he can go both, but we're mainly just seeing the crystal path as like the main thing right now still. But
yeah, like crystal jungling with him is really, really strong, as we saw in the EU fights, right? And even I think in NA they did some crazy stuff with him too.
Yeah. Then in the update we saw a few changes where some of the heroes got these crazy buffs. One that I've been having, I think, a nightmare with this past week is the attack speed increase for Blackfeather.
Oh my god! You're right. It's so bad.
Like, Blackfeather is starting to draw these bans if you're playing ranked, if you have draft mode. But this guy is, like, ridiculous right now. I'm surprised they brought up this attack speed. I know attack speed got changed in update 2.3, so I think they're trying to, like, get people back in line. But Blackfeather, like, come on. This is crazy.
I'm wondering if they need to do this because we've had so many heroes like Baron. Baron was really strong in 2.3, especially with his jump jets, and obviously they did nerf his jump jets in this patch a little bit. Mm-hmm. But maybe they had to up Blackfeather because of that to make him compete a little bit more with Baron, and maybe it could be because of Baptiste's kit too, because he can do these crazy ranged kind of. He's pretty much a mage, right? These mage carry attacks. They made Blackfeather able to dish out more damage per second, right?
Yeah, that could have been the reason. Another change that is taking some time to get used to is this Mooncloak change on Flicker. I don't know if you play Flicker, but the ability will attempt to re-stealth during the duration if you end up doing something, and then you'll go back to stealth. So it's kind of confusing. It caught me off guard a couple times. I was playing some games. I think recorded a video. I was like, wait, why am I stealth again? That doesn't make sense. I should be.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So it says here his perk will no longer time out while in brush. So does that mean he just maintains continuous cloak all the time in brush?
Yeah. So like before, the perk would like kind of it would reset, I guess.
Yeah. It would like go off. Yeah, because I played him a lot when he first came out. So it would go off. But the question is, when it went off, did the enemies who were in the bush with you see you go uncloaked and then recloak? That's the question.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it would mainly happen when you transferred from bush to bush, because then it would kind of reset.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's
I like it. I like this change to his Will-O-Wisper. What I don't like, because I went through this last night in some ranked games with my guild, was the charge time for his Mooncloak. Mm-hmm. It's up to just a fraction of a second more, from 1 to 1.2, and it makes it so that it just, I feel like it's off now, because I was used to his Mooncloak getting activated so quickly, and that 0.2 of a second is just like, what? Are you serious? Like, now we die before we go into the cloak, right? People can see it happening with the animation.
Right, yeah. So they can't see where everyone splits or goes to. So, yeah, I don't know why. That was a weird change to increase that.
Yeah. I don't know.
And then Fortress, he got a needed. And actually, he got a little bit of a buff there because he got a nerf. Sorry, the damage is down. So
yeah, these are all huge nerfs to Fortress, and we've been seeing a lot of him, especially in the Vainglory 8, a lot, and even in the Challenger series too, with VGL and VIS. We've been seeing a lot of Fortress play with his typical stuff and with Aftershock, but he got a huge nerf here. The damage down, I'm just looking at Law of the Claw. This is the biggest difference, I feel. It went from 100 at base to 70 now.
Yeah. And
then 300 at the top was the old damage, down to 250. That's huge.
It's pretty big, yeah. Which is good, because it always sucks if he's playing that captain, the support role, and he comes in and basically he could 1v1 the carry as the captain, and you're like, this just doesn't seem fair.
Yeah, agreed. I think it's a little warranted, but I think that's too much damage that they took off of him, because now as someone who likes to play captain, and I play jungle sometimes too, I'm trying to like be diverse in my roles. Okay. I feel like it makes him less of a viable character for me to play now.
Yeah, maybe he's still drawing a lot of bans. It seems like I've been seeing him getting banned still, just because he's annoying. It's just annoying.
Well, yeah, with the pack like running out there, his wolves being able to find all the other heroes, it just makes it more targets for you to go after if you're facing a fortress.
Mm-hmm. Any other big ones in this update that you've been noticing? I haven't even got a chance to play everyone in this. I have been seeing Rhyme pick up and come out a little more because of the base movement speed. Like, although it's 3.1 to 3.2, it just, I think, feels better for people, so they seem to be picking them up a little more.
Well, me and my guildmates, we actually made a joke about that last night. We're just like, oh, he has a little bit more, 0.1 more movement speed. So did he get better cane, better boots? What's going on with this guy? Did he get some chiropractic work?
Yeah, he's been taking some pills. Like, he's just feeling good now.
I did notice that I haven't played Koshka too much, but I see here that her crystal ratio is down, and that could be because she's been so strong, picked up so much recently by a lot of players, and obviously at Vainglory Worlds, that's where we saw her like really make her resurgence back. And the last couple patches since then, she's been really strong too.
Yeah, so it's just her empowered attacks. So when she does her twirly death, then those like 2 seconds of attacks, or those 2 attacks afterwards, those are like down. So, so people were, spinning and then jumping in and doing twice as much damage kind of thing.
Oh yeah. Another big difference actually is Idris with his divergent paths. They've actually changed it looks like they've changed the amount for the threshold to activate either of his perks on weapon power or CP, and his crystal, I think even more importantly, is his crystal basic attack crystal ratio is up from 90 to 100%.
Okay.
I was in ranked games last night with my guildmates, and every time I thought we were gonna lose this match. I think we're on the left side. So was that blue? That blue side?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's blue. Yeah, so we're on blue side. I have more win. I have like 60% win rate on blue side. It's really crazy. So one of my guildmates, he was playing CP Idris. I was like, "Are you sure, dude? Are you sure?" Like, I mean, that's cool that he could throw out those mini chakrams, but I don't know. He survived every team fight and ended up killing the remaining people on the enemy team.
Oh,
whereas
wow.
me and my guild leader, we went down every time. It was freaking nuts. I think he ended up having 16 kills that game. It was insane.
Yeah. Usually when I've seen CP Idris, it's kind of like, oh yeah, this game, this is not going to work out for my team. Like, so that's awesome that it actually worked out for you guys.
Oh yeah, we're really happy about that.
Cool. One item that got changed that I'm so happy for is the Storm Crown. This item was ridiculously strong, and it needed to be nerfed. And I don't know if everyone's realized that it's been nerfed, because you're still seeing a lot of people pick it up, but then you're not seeing some, like I saw a Crystal Taka not pick it up, and you still don't do any damage. So you still need this for some heroes, but
yeah, I feel like you do. It's down from 20 to 15% damage to heroes, which is, if you look at that overall, it's a 25% nerf, which is it's noticeable.
Yeah.
And I think what's really big though is damage to non-heroes down from 60 to 40, so it's pretty much down 20, and then at the highest level it's down 20 as well. That's noticeable when you're going up against the jungle camps, and maybe you're invading and you're trying to steal the jungle camps from your enemy quickly. That's going to cut down on that's going to increase your time with those jungle clears.
Yeah, a little bit. So good thing to know, but you still need it on so many heroes. Like, it's just a thing that just kind of happens. I haven't been picking it up as much on maybe my captains now, especially because if the jungler's kind of off doing their thing and you're hanging out in lane, I just haven't been getting it as often. So kind of doing that.
And it helps with cooldown too for your abilities, right?
Yeah. So it's still
at least it didn't nerf that.
Mm-hmm. Then how are you liking this starting with 2 potions in 2.4?
I am so glad that they have this now, because every time I feel like I would buy 2 or sometimes even 3. Usually I would just buy 2 when you start off, because it's like, that's all you can buy, right? If you're gonna buy yourself a couple of items. So I like it, and then I also like the fact that you can sell it back at the shop if you don't need them.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they realized you needed to have that option if you really were hating on it. Like, I don't want to spend my money on this. This isn't fair.
This is one of those changes that's kind of like an auto thing that people noticed, or maybe the devs noticed that people always do. Like I'm sure during the PBE testing, they got some comments back on this. It's kind of like porting back to base. It's exactly like that change where everybody who ported back to base always clicked just to let your team know, be nice, like clicked, oh, I'm moving to the base, I'm running to the base, right?
Yeah, now we kind of like, oh, this makes so much sense. Why wasn't this here from the beginning?
Totally.
Then Brian Glory tweeted a couple changes that weren't, I think, completely mentioned in this update, but there's like just some new like smoother UI stuff and UI changes. So there's now a visual for tracking hero respawns, which I don't think I even noticed yet. I gotta kind of pay attention to that. Maybe I saw it and didn't even think like anything was different, but I think you can kind of see when someone's about to respawn. It's a little different.
Okay, so instead of the countdown timer, is that what he's talking about?
I think that's still there, but I think or maybe it's cleaned up a little more. I don't know. I didn't even notice, but I think there's just like these buttery smooth things that they're doing just to kind of make it a little nicer, and easier for people. Because I know it's like they turned off that vibrate to alert. You can now turn it on or off. People are kind of complaining about that. You can turn off the recommended builds, which I need to do because I don't want to see that every time. I always click on the manual build, so I was kind of like, this is silly. I want to turn this off.
Yeah, what was kind of funny for me when they mentioned that they were doing that was I was like, oh, okay, so I can turn it off in game. And I think I tried clicking on the check mark to like uncheck it because I would use the builds, especially if I'm playing Brawl. I would play Blitz. I would play that sometimes. It's just like, okay, I just want to buy the items quick, whatever. Recommended items.
Makes sense.
So I would try clicking on that check mark that's like at the bottom of the shop menu, and I was just like, wait, that's not how you do it. It's in the settings of the phone, right?
Yeah,
or whatever device you're playing.
That's the quick buy, so it's a little different. So yeah, which you need to. You can either have on or off, which it's useful and maybe sometimes messes you up, but it kind of depends on if you get used to it or not. But whenever they do some of these small changes to the game, it's kind of like if you've been playing for so long, you have this muscle memory. Like I even forget about like shuffling my items around because I don't do that all the time, and it came in update 2.3. So
yeah, I totally forgot about that too, and because I used to captain a lot more than jungling what I do now. It would have made it really useful before.
Yeah. Stuff to just pay attention to as you're playing and going through the game. But yeah, update 2.4, I think still going to take some getting used to. As always, like it just changes up the game a little bit. I think the Vainglory 8 is going to continue on 2.3. I don't know if the challenge battles are going to take place on 2.4, but I believe London is supposed to be on 2.4. So hopefully we get to see some Baptiste out there.
Yeah, that would be really fun. I liked it when I went to VG Worlds and we saw Flicker a couple of times, maybe even just once. But it was just like, oh, Flicker's here, finally.
Yeah, so very cool. So yeah, let me know if anyone out there your thoughts on Baptiste or how 2.4 is going. And that's really all for the news this week. It was all so much focused on 2.4, a little quiet as they're getting ready for the Unified Live Championships. But I did see a couple things on the forums and Reddit that kind of worth mentioning. So let's jump into that.
Forum static.
So the first one was the idea of the skin tiers. So if you're a new player, right now, a new skin comes out, you can buy it instantly, or you can collect the cards and get the skins that. I've been seeing some people want to bring back the different skin tiers and options for just the heroes, because right now, everyone tends to always play the newest skin because it's the best skin. There's not a new skin coming out that's like, oh, this isn't as cool as the tier 3 one I already have. Like another Night Lance, that tier 3 skin is great. But why you're not going to release one that's not as good as that, right?
Yeah.
And the way to build them, you used to have to like kind of build these cards, collect up. So small amount of cards would get you these lower tier skins, and then the 30 cards would get you these big skins. But I think almost like every skin coming out still takes 30 skins, not these 16 cards like the old system. What do you think? Do you like this new, or you want to go back to the old?
You know what's funny is, okay, so I kind of like the idea of grinding, but I also like the option of being able to buy it right away. Like, yeah, like people like you and me, Brad, like we're able to, we got our day jobs, we're able to like throw down like $10 or whatever on ice.
Yeah.
So it makes it easy for us. It takes a lot of grinding to get the amount of glory you need to be able to buy them from those like daily deals in the shops or whatever for like those skins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like how you can go both ways. It's kind of funny how SEMC also changed the Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 system. They just renamed everything pretty much. It's all the same in a way. It's just easier to get the skins now, right?
Right.
And I think that the names do sound better in a way. So it's really just cosmetic feeling to me. I did like how, though, in this form static that you have here for the skins, that actually we had, I think it was Surprise Birthday and Wolf Hands, who are obviously like SEMC folks. They were also commenting in there in the forum as well. So it's nice to see that they're really interested in what the community has to say. And we had a lot of people complaining about, I'm not sure if they were complaining about Lance for sure, him not having a legendary skin or tier 3 skin. Yeah. And they were also complaining about Alpha. Well, everybody's going to be getting new skins in the future. So, and I can't say exactly what. I have NDA on me because I went to SEMC, but let's just say that there's a lot of heroes that are going to have really cool, really new skins coming up.
Oh man, you know all the secrets. Yikes. That's good and bad, right? It's kind of like you want to know, but then you find out and you're like, I can't talk about any of this. I hope I don't say something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I understand the idea of like, why would you want to play tier 1 Kashka if you have tier 3 Kashka? Like, it makes no sense. Unless you play a lot, I end up sometimes bouncing around to different skins and kind of playing different things just to see how they look. But really, someone like Ringo, where you have the twirling, when you use your twirling silver, you have the fire going around. That is a fantastic just visual thing for you to have. And when you play another skin that doesn't have it, you're kind of like, oh, this kind of sucks.
Yeah, exactly. The animations make a big difference, and like I feel like the fun you can have in the game, especially if you're doing it like casually with your guildmates or friends, if you're playing, then it's more like, oh yeah, my skin looks badass. But I feel like with that skin, that legendary skin on Ringo, he's like one of the few characters that has white hair. So it's just like, oh, him and Rhyme are the only ones who have this, so it looks so cool when they just run around and have white hair, right?
Mm-hmm. That's true. It's funny. Yeah, I don't know. The system's nice. I think getting rid of the tier 1 to 3 was strictly for boredom fact on the SCMC side. Like, coming up with 3 different skins in the same line for the same hero. Like, look at Vox. All 3 of those skins, they don't even go together.
No.
Like it's just, it's silly. It was just like, oh yeah, this is 1, 2, and 3. We just came up with something. So. Yeah.
You know what's funny is that it's like one guy looks like a pirate, and then the other guy looks like a futuristic, maybe ship captain, like an anime style ship captain, right? And then we have the legendary skin box, which is just like, what the hell? This guy's like super ultra futuristic, right?
Yeah.
So, but they all have that Cloud Raider tag on them. So there's something. It's like connecting him to being a captain or a raider of a ship or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
So. We actually had, on that forum topic about the skins, we actually had Surprise Birthday. He was commenting and he was saying that, and I think they've said this before, where they just don't want the artists. And there's a lot of artists working over there at SEMC. There's in one section, there's probably almost a dozen of them.
Oh, wow.
All shade. Yeah, they're all like shading stuff, all like on their computers with these huge high def screens with their pads, just like shading away at the new art skins that are coming out. And they don't want to have to beat their head against the wall for like, okay, we have to make it fit into the. It takes away from their creativity, right? So I think it's a really good point that Surprise Birthday made in that particular post.
But if you have any thoughts or want to see what Surprise Birthday said, there's a link in the show notes, so check that out. This other topic, it wasn't so much of a forum post, but rather something from Rumbly Superset tweeted out, and this seems to be something that has been coming up quite a bit from people that play the game a lot. Saw something from Woodworking Vainglory recently, I think last week, but just talking about the solo queue, dual queue is super toxic, and we need a reset. There's just people up here that just shouldn't be. There's people that have been carried and just put in the, POA Vainglorious queue that maybe shouldn't be here, and they just troll because they're up there and they're doing silly things. You also have a lot of players who maybe get their account all the way up there and then start over, and they just do dumb things because they don't care. It's not their real account, so they'll just do whatever. But this seems to be like a continuing theme coming up over and over again from higher tier and people that play all the time. Have you been experiencing this at all? Do you think we need a reset?
I'm kind of in like elo hell because or purgatory because I'm like the highest I've ever been is tier 6.
Okay.
And I've like dropped down. Like I had decay on my account. I didn't play for like 1.5 patches, so I had decay after Vainglory Worlds, and I ended up I dropped down to Got Swagger.
Okay.
And then patch 2.3 was so tough on me. Like just like getting back into it, like the meta of the game and how the rotations are and like what's the best item. Like I had to relearn everything again, obviously. I ended up dropping, but down to T4, and then I got back up to T5 again. Okay. So I'm in that purgatory, so I really can't speak to what the really high elo players are saying. But I know Rumbly Superset, he's always up there. He's always like performing really, really well. I watch his videos and he's great. I do know of some like previous guildmates that they're really good, and I think some of these kids that I played with, they're in high school still. They could be Vainglory 8 players, pro players. It's crazy how people get up to that Vainglorious, and then they're just like, I'm bored with it, and they just leave the account. It's just like, what? Like, I don't know. It's crazy.
Well, yeah. What do you kind of beat the game, right? I wonder if a leaderboard would actually help this idea of the reset kind of factor, because there is nothing to prove that I am the best player or who's the best right now in Vainglory. Where you have League of Legends, they have, once you get to, I think, Challenger, there's like the 100 or 300 people that are in there in the region, and that's it. So you always have to be playing, you always have to keep it up. I think that would be a better option than like this constant argue about this reset and kind of thing like that. Like, make the incentive to be the best better, I guess.
Yeah, I like that idea. I like a global ranking system. I'm wondering how that would be accomplished. Like, could they use the API to do that? Would Vainglory do that themselves, or the SEMC do that rather? Mm-hmm. So, like, I'm not sure how that would go about, but I would like to see where I'm ranked in the world, or even in NA. If it's by region, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. But I think we're going to continue seeing this, I guess, complaints from people. I don't think there's ever a really good answer, but it's not a good sign when you have people like Rumbly Superset and other people that make content complaining about this, because it kind of spirals into forget this game, I'm out of here. Like, I'm not having fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of content creators who, when they post opinions like that, and it's great, it's perfect that they're posting those opinions on Twitter or wherever, because people are creating more discussions out of it. That makes it really useful. And when there's more discussion, it's going to drive the community to interact more, and it's going to retain people as well. You know, I do see that Rumbly Superset, he is playing other games out there too.
Yeah.
On the other videos he puts out there on YouTube, he doesn't get nearly the views that he gets for his Vainglory stuff because Vainglory is just so big. I don't feel like it's going to drive people away from the community. I feel like it's just gonna keep more retention.
Yeah, I would hope so. Yeah. So, but check out his tweet. There's a link in there, or if you have any opinions on it, like, yeah, send a tweet here to let us know. Love to keep the conversation going. Well, before we wrap up here, I got one more thing to talk about, and that's I guess a mail time.
Mailbag.
This isn't really a question that got emailed to me. If you want to email a question, that's at shatterthevain@gmail.com. But this was a comment on the YouTube videos, and it's probably great for yourself too, because you said you used to play Captain a lot. But the question was can someone help me? Every time I play Captain, the jungle and carries are both noobs, which we all feel like everyone else in this game is terrible, but I am the best. So as a captain, they're referring to Fortress in this case. I don't know how to actually carry my team. Can someone help me? Give me any tips? Whew, yeah, that is a tough feeling when you are playing the captain role, when sometimes you feel like you cannot do enough. Like, you're trying to save your team, protect your team, but you cannot physically win the game alone. You're not the hero that can 1v3. But there are things I think you could do to help your team win. Any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think that anybody who's captain should, or any Vainglory player, if they want to improve their position, just watch pro play. Watch Vainglory 8, and you can't watch it just like in one day. You may not, understand what you're seeing. You got to listen to the shoutcasters, what they're talking about, what they're saying. You got to listen to the analysts on the analyst desk. Mm-hmm. You got to see those plays and kind of pick out what's going to be relevant for you. So for me, for example, I better understand now that playing as a captain, like I had some really successful Arden ranked games actually recently, and it's throwing down that gauntlet, like doing what Flash X does,
Okay.
Like throwing down the gauntlet and separating the enemy team from one another, forcing them to either like come in and get stunned or have to stay outside for several seconds, right? While your team just annihilates and punishes who's ever within the gauntlet. Doing stuff like that, looking at what kind of builds they have, right? So just look at the Vainglory 8 VODs, and I feel like that's going to help people out. And playing with people, actually communicating with people too, that's really, really helpful. It's hard when you're doing solo queue. I feel like last patch I think I was down to almost 30% win rate because I was solo queuing so much ranked. It was really, really bad. But this patch, I'm up higher, and that's because I'm playing more with my guildmates. So communicating, getting on Discord or whatever app you use to do that team communication, it's really important.
Mm-hmm. And then I think vision is a big thing, especially in all the tiers. But just knowing that if you can provide vision as the captain, so your noob allies don't do dumb things like go into the bushes or face check something when they shouldn't, or they're gonna rotate down the shop. They're hiding in that bush waiting for you. As the captain, you should be providing that vision, getting scout traps down, using your flares, like just help them make smarter decisions, because if you don't think they're going to be very smart, assume that you are better and educate them on like what should be happening. And then I think playing these carry captains like Fortress, Glaive captain has been making a comeback, the Grumpjaw captains, these ones that can do a lot of damage. Like I was saying earlier, Fortress could 1v1 the carry if needed to.
And not only damage, but also very positional kind of moves from those heroes. Like we have Grumpjaw who can do his stuffed, so he can swallow up. Maybe if you want to swallow up the captain on the other team, so they can't do Fountain, Crucible, Atlas on you. Move them out of position, spit them out under a turret, right? That's the perfect thing to do right there.
Yeah, so I would look at that because when you're playing a hero maybe like Lyra or Arden, where your job is to kind of protect and heal and save the allies if you don't think they're doing a good job, and you're trying to do your best at that. But yeah, you can't output anything. So maybe look at some heroes that can kind of win the game as well, if needed to. And if you have to, build some damage on those captains too. Don't be afraid to grab that aftershock, because you don't need every defense activatable, because you probably won't get them off in time either. Most of us are not professional players, so activating Crucible and Fountain at the perfect moment is so rare.
That's actually something that they have now. They have in the settings, you can make it so there's a one push for all abilities button now. I haven't used it yet, but you can turn that on in the settings for Vainglory.
Oh, really? It just hits them all at once?
I guess it's like, I've heard you guys talk about this on the podcast, like, especially T-Dog, he's like, just spam all the abilities and activatables in a team fight. You can just do it with one button now.
Oh, interesting. That's why just a panic button, really? Like, I don't know, just push it, just run.
It's your big red button, not Jules. Your big red button.
There you go. So yeah, that's the question. If you have any other questions or thoughts like that, definitely email them at shatterthevain@gmail.com. Love to do more emails and questions here on the podcast, especially when it's just an episode about the patch. You can only talk about the same changes over and over again. Nice to kind of dive into the game some more. Well, Sean, this was great having you on. Thanks for joining me. That's going to do it for 153.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Brad. I really appreciate it, man. I've been listening to your podcast for about a year now since I've been playing Vainglory, so really cool to be on. Really appreciate it. And you guys can follow me at Sean Austino, SeanAustino, on Twitter, Instagram, all social media. And be sure to, if you're going to London or you live in the EU, be sure to sign up for my tickets. I'm all posted out on my Twitter account.
Yeah, so links are in the show notes, in the description. Like, follow, join that giveaway, check it out. Go to London, take photos, enjoy that. I know a lot of people are going and then like doing other days and almost making vacation out of it. So that's a good excuse there too. If you can swing that. It's a little more expensive, but yeah, should be fun. That Shatter the Vain's on Twitter at Shatter the Vain, website shatterthevain.com. All the episodes are posted there, links to iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube version as well. And I'll be back with 154 next week. Take care.
Let's get this over with.